sure every single one of you watching has at some point thought about making or selling drugs. I definitely have. A lot.
One for you, one for me.
You know, I think, what the fuck? Yeah, no, I obviously everyone has thought about making money with drugs. Yes, of course.
But it's illegal, which is why every other
What a shame. See, there's always a but.
YouTuber out there has their boring legal side hustle. Mr. Beast sells crappy chocolates to kids. Logan Paul sells shitty drinks to kids. Dude Perfect sells clothes, probably made by kids to kids. And Marcus Dribble. And I don't want to sell shit.
YouTubers.
To kids. I want to sell to the most profitable market out there. Chinese men. Which is why today I'm going to try farming something else that grows right out of the dirt.
China!
Mud crabs. In a mud crab hotel in my garage and see how much money I can make selling them. And then compare it to growing drugs. Okay, now throughout this whole process, I'm going to be tracking all of it. How much money I spend on materials,
He wasn't a Minecraft YouTuber? Oh shit, chat. It's spreading. Minecraft is no longer containing the groomers. It's spreading beyond Minecraft YouTubing. You're fucked.
crabs, food for them, and how much time and effort it takes. Now, the first thing I'm going to need is crabs, which lucky for me, your mum already gave me.
Oh, fuck, what?
But I need bigger ones. And I live right next to this muddy creek, which based on this sign, I'm guessing there's mud crabs around. And usually you'd have to pay for bait, but I'm just going to use this fish I shot earlier. And that's the best thing about fishing. With every fish you catch, you also get a buy one, get one free crab. So after
one
leaving the
free
crabs out into the night, I got these undersized crabs, which are perfect to grow in the hotel, but I'm not legally allowed to take them. And I'm looking for crabs that are barely legal, as the idea is that the young ones grow quicker. So at the moment at 500 grams, he's worth around $20, give or take market value and how hungry the buyer is. But they grow at an amazing rate, meaning this crab could more than double its size in 3 months. So the longer I keep them and feed them and resist eating them, the more money I make. So I kept putting crab traps out and bringing in crabs, and if I caught a fish, I put them back in the trap to catch more crabs. And so far this is looking pretty good. I kind of have a perpetual motion crab trap machine. But after 3 days of crabbing, I only caught 3 crabs. So I bought
That's 1 crab a day. That's fantastic.
7 more from the market. Now I just need somewhere to put them, which I probably should have figured out before my car was filled with crabs. But luckily I do have this fish tank lying around that Alexa and I bought
so
when we wanted to make a
chaotic.
Chinese restaurant. So now I just need to buy a bunch of separate drawers. And you're probably wondering, why do you need separate drawers for the crabs? Just chuck them all in the big tank you have. But here's the thing about mud crabs. They are dickheads. And if left by themselves, they'll commit every crime known to man on each other, including cannibalism, incest, genocide, and even Grand Theft Auto. So I need to keep these creepy guys apart. The drawers also make giving them an even amount of food easier and makes cleaning the tanks easy. And I don't know if this is going to work, but I installed these tap things in each drawer that will make the water level equal in each of them and circulate all the water. Okay, and usually when setting up a tank, you need to spend months being an autistic fish nerd, getting the right bacteria to grow in the tank, which will eat all the crab shit before you add your animals. But I reckon if I just steal a bunch of rocks and water from the river they came from, I won't.
I mean, low-key, yeah, just take the fucking river water where the crabs came from to begin with.
Have to do that, as the rocks are already covered in good bacteria. Also, stealing the water means I don't have to buy any salt or muck around with pH or anything. Not a suspicious looking barrel.
Big brain!
But after talking about how smart I am for stealing rocks, I also added this biomedia and bacteria starter kit just because it can't hurt, which cost me around $100. And so far I've spent $100 on the filter, $40 on the drawers, $120 on the heaters, $250 on the crabs, $100 on these taxidermy ninja
Stop.
turtle frogs, and the piping and stuff I stole from Bunnings, so I'm $610 in the hole, which when you compare that to buying a small grow house system, it's much cheaper so far. But I don't know if the system is going to work, and the idea is all the crab waste comes out through the bottom here into these sponges which catch all the big stuff. Then it goes through all this porous rock filled with good bacteria that eat all the piss and shit. Then it goes over the river rocks and gravel and back up here and just repeats, which doesn't work. As the water comes out of the pump a lot quicker than it can get out of these holes. And now the drawer is overfilling. So I just poked some holes in the pipe until the flow level went down, which was actually my plan all along, as it also aerates the water. Okay, I can finally get the crabs out of my car. And after almost losing a finger getting all 10 crabs into all the drawers, I remembered I need to take them all out again to weigh them. And the first guy came in very heavy at 1,077 grams, which is too fat. But the creek I got him from doesn't have a good return policy, so hopefully I can still make him gain weight. So the total weight of them is 8.25 kilos, with the biggest crab weighing 1,077 grams and the smallest being 605 grams. So my money is on the smallest guy gaining the most weight. Alright, let me tell you the specs of this baby. This right here is a water-cooled mud crab. Tolerates between 19 and 29 degrees water. You can pay extra for the protection plan, which gives you metal calcium armor, meaning they are super hardy and come with a 6-month money-back guarantee. These babies will eat whatever you give them. Prawns, fish, carrots, their own poo, literally anything. And with this 10-core Deca system, I should be doubling my money in no time. What I've also kind of created by accident is the crab version of the human centipede. See, the guy on the top is alright, but the guy below him gets all his piss and shit, then this guy gets all their piss and shit, and it just repeats all the way down. It's just a big piss and shit hotel, kind of like the Hilton in Sydney.
Kind of like the Hilton in Sydney. Stop!
Alright, a lot of them seem quite stressed out, especially the 7 I bought from the Sydney fish market. And the conditions at the market really weren't great. The crabs were piled on top of each other in styrofoam boxes in a hot room with lots of kids lined up to poke the crabs in the eyes. Plus they weren't eating and they were drying out. So I thought a bit of food might help them. So I cut up some salmon I speared into slices and gave it a go. And according to these Indonesian men online, I am meant to follow the American diet and feed them 10% of their body weight a day, which for most of the crabs is 80 grams. The equivalent of me eating 9 kilos a day.
Holy
so
shit!
This guy grabbed it and started eating straight away.
No.
But I thought they might be shy, so I turned off the lights and left them overnight.
Wakey.
And in the morning, I was hoping to see the remaining food missing.
That guy didn't eat his food. Guy what? Yes, he is. That guy didn't eat his food.
But something else went missing.
A crab.
A whole ass crab. It must have squeezed out of this gap, which I should have closed.
How? He totally just crawled away. Where he could be. It's probably under here. There's a crab under here. No. He totally got out. He's in here.
Wet.
He's in here. Oh my god.
And I'm really lucky that I found the crab, and he didn't do the most obvious thing and slip under the garage door.
You fool!
Crawl down the road, hop on a bus, and go to the RSPCA, where it reports me for crimes against crabs. Instead, it just sat next to the heater in the sump tank all night. So only 4 of the crabs ate their food. So I cleaned out all the gunk, which there's actually heaps of, and now my whole garage kind of smells like a fish shop. Okay, after letting them chill out for like 6 hours, I decide to feed them again. But I'm going to try something fancier to see if they like it. The same fish, but this time it's more stinky. And I really thought it would be easier to get mud crabs to eat, but some of them would only eat if I hold the food in front of their face for like 10 seconds and just wiggle it around. And more crabs ate their food, probably like 6 out of 10. All 3 from the creek are eating, but 4 of the market ones don't want to. And the market ones actually seem to hate food so much that they trick me into thinking they're going to eat it. Then when I look away, they just push the food into the corner. Especially this fat guy on the top who hasn't touched his food at all and barely moves.
I ate it for him.
Alright, the fish and piss smell was getting way too strong, so I turned on this fan, which I stole from a marijuana grow house, and tried feeding them again. But this time I'm going to rub garlic on the fish, as I heard somewhere that they like the stinkiness. And as soon as I gave the fish to this guy, he started doing a handstand for some reason.
Maybe he doesn't like it.
Sometimes. Guy doing a handstand.
And by some miracle it worked. For every crab except the traumatized guy. But at least he is moving around a lot more. And you know, I'm already learning stuff about crabs that I didn't know. Like I had no idea that when they eat, the big claws just hold the food in front of their face, and then like a scene from a horror movie, 6 tiny little hands come out of their face and start ripping apart the food, which is very similar to how Americans eat.
The piss garage.
And the piss smell just keeps getting worse. It's like a wet market in here. So I stole 200 litres from Sydney Harbour, sucked all the crab shit into my mouth.
Ew!
And then changed the water. And I don't know if Sydney Harbour's water is the healthiest, as it's filled with microplastics and heavy metals. But if I'm already filled with microplastics, then I want the crabs to be as well. And all the crabs seem to be getting much more lively, and they're attacking me every time I try to feed them. And I thought that after feeding them for 5 days, there would be a little bit more respect. But then again, I am keeping them captive in tiny drawers in a piss hotel, so maybe not.
The piss hotel.
Okay, before we go any further with the mud crabs, let me tell you about the sponsor of today's
Oh yeah,
video,
microplastics.
Managing these mud crabs
He's
is burning
taking
a hole
good
in my
care of them, just like
productivity
me
and
and
would have been
Spoop.
much easier if I used Udo,
Microplastics.
an all-in-one business
It's
management software that
important,
provides
yes.
entrepreneurs like me with a range of applications to simplify the day-to-day management of their business, including invoicing, accounting, project management, website
Wow,
creation,
Katie.
and more. Udo keeps pace with your evolution,
Fiona.
allowing you to add additional applications
Regular
as you grow
supply
and your
for
needs
a
change.
resto.
Let's say I need to pay
A
fish
resto
monger for
what?
bringing me
Resto
crab
druid?
food. I can do this
Resto
easily
shaman?
with Udo, as Udo's
Who are we
invoicing
talking
app
about?
allows you to manage and track your invoices
What
electronically. It only
resto
takes a
spec
few
we
seconds to
playing?
create your first
What are we
invoice, add your
investing
customer
into?
details, the products or services you're changing, along with the quantity,
Side.
and then specify the payment and billing terms. Once a customer has received an Udo invoice, they'll be redirected to a portal that will let them pay it using
Wow,
whatever payment
mentioned.
method suits them best. You can easily track the status of the invoice in Udo's invoicing app and be notified when it goes from unpaid to paid. So go to my link in the description and get your first Udo application
Why
free
is everyone
for life.
adding right now? Listen, I usually skip ads in videos that are just compilations of other people's content, but like, another thing gives me free content to watch while actually producing genuine, unique content, so I let the ads play. And so we just spam ads, you know.
Something went very wrong. I'm not sure if you can tell what, but there is meant to be water inside this tank and not just burnt heating filaments.
And I don't know if you can tell, all this metal is rusty. How does my lathe get that rusty? What over here? What
The
over
humidity.
there? What over here? What happened?
And I'm guessing what happened was that either a crab or his food got stuck inside the water outlet and then the drawer filled up. And I say that because there is currently a piece of food stuck inside the water outlet.
One piece of meat gets stuck on the pipe. The whole garage floods.
Luckily, the crab somehow didn't die even after not having filtered water for 2 days. And there's a valuable lesson in this, kids. Don't go away camping for 2 days and let your younger brother look after your mud crabs. So I stole some more water from the harbour and filled it back up, and then tried feeding them something different as a reward for almost killing them, and gave them liver, giblets, and a prawn. Prawn is for the traumatized guy that won't eat.
Doing it again. This time I've noticed.
Oh gosh.
And it's flooding again, and it's the same guy in the same tank. I reckon he's stuffing food in the pipe in an attempt to kill the other crabs so they stop pissing on him. All right,
He
I'm gonna weigh
knows.
one of the crabs to see if this is working at all. And this guy here was around 638 grams when I first weighed him. One of the smallest. So I hope he has gained some weight.
What was his weight before?
He has!
Yes!
Yes!
640 to
He's gonna be
740.
deported!
And at first I thought the weight gain was good, but he's only gained 100 grams. And considering I'm feeding all of them 2 60-gram pieces of fish a day, he hasn't even gained as much weight as a day's worth of food. So I'm not sure where all that weight is going. He must just be shitting it out. He does feel a lot more full though. And no, I'm not misgendering him. I looked at his penis.
Nice cock.
Looked at his
And
penis.
so far, I've actually managed to keep food costs really low. I ran out of caught fish, but I've been feeding them Aussie salmon from the market, which is cheap at like $3 a kilo. And I've gone through like 6 kilos of meat, so that's around $25. But for the amount of weight they gained so far, definitely not worth it.
Oh,
I wake
more
up to flooding
flooding!
again multiple times, so I need to come up with some way to stop that. At first I thought I'd make an overflow pipe on the drawers running down the side here, but that doesn't actually solve anything, as another piece of food can still get caught in that pipe, and also a pipe will mean I can't open the drawers. So I'm going to try the cheapest solution possible, theft. And I stole 10 of these adapters from Bunnings, and I reckon if I cut a bunch of slots in the side, which will create multiple points for the water to get through, even if the food blocks it, it should work. And look, this floating food can't get in the pipe. And the food floating is probably the main problem, but it doesn't matter. It flooded again, and I wish you could smell my garage right now. As when it flooded, it wasn't only water coming out of it, but crab shit and fish bits.
Smells just disgusting.
And now everything is just covered in a light layer of shit. It's disgusting, but I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to ignore it. Alright,
So
I've
it's gonna
been way too
ignore it.
fixated on the crabs and keeping them alive, and I didn't pay much attention to the tank below them until one day it flooded real bad, and that's when I noticed how much other stuff was living in the tank. And I've accidentally created a home for castaways. It must have been on the rocks or water that I stole. First we've got the snails, and to give you an indication of how crap the water in Sydney Harbour is, when I first add the water, they always run up the side of the tanks, but then settle back in. And we got this spirally guy, this weird guy, and a bunch of these black ones. And they clean the algae in the tank, but besides that, they aren't very useful, besides being delicious. So maybe I can sell them to some French guys or something. Then we've also got these guys, and I'm not really sure what they are, but luckily I have a fish identification chart.
Square fish? Circle fish?
No,
Starfish!
no.
What?
Circle fish.
There's an anemone,
It
which
goes
is always
in the
waving its arms around trying to eat
square
stuff, like these tiny crabs, which I'm not sure the species, but compared to mud crabs aren't very impressive, so I don't care. Then there's also these little fish. I counted like 6 to 8 of them, which I probably scooped up when doing water changes. And I'm not sure the species, but they're actually pretty beautiful and hang out in a gang under this rock, just chasing each other around and everything else in here. And they must be surviving on the food scraps that the crabs don't eat and mud crab poop. And it's pretty beautiful seeing everything live in peace and equilibrium in this tank when they were all brought together by an accident. And an anemone
poop.
ate one of the fish.
And poop. An accident. And poop. Lots of poop. Crab poop. Dangerous
Alright, when looking
visitor.
at the footage on the computer, I found something I didn't expect. I was sticking the camera under this rock to see where all the fish were hanging out, and I spotted something.
What?
And you can't see it that
What
well,
are we looking
but
at?
there is definitely a well-camouflaged animal moving here. It might be like a slug or a snail, but it kind of looks like an octopus. So today's mission is to find out what it is. And I was moving rocks around for a couple of minutes and didn't find it, but then it appeared.
There's
What
a
the
tiny
heck?
octopus right there.
Actually a fucking octopus! No way!
I'm gonna try to scoop him up.
That's
That is a
insane!
blue ring octopus.
Holy shit!
That is a blue ring octopus. Come on.
What's
Let
a
me scoop
blue
you.
ring octopus? Uh-oh.
Come on. Come on.
Blue ring the deadly? Oh. Very poisonous, very?
I got it. Oh my god. That is a blue ring. That is a blue ring octopus. It's tiny.
What the?
That is the most
If you get bitten, you're dead in 20 minutes? What?
And this is a blue ring octopus.
And he put his hands in there looking for it?
One of the deadliest animals in Australia, capable of sucking off 20 men with a single bite. And apparently they are poisonous as well. And this is insane. It must have been hiding in the rocks I collected, most likely this big cinder block, which means I easily could have put my hand on him and been bitten and killed. So I don't really want to leave him here, as I'm sure he doesn't appreciate the mud crab piss and poo. So I'm going to catch him and return him somewhere safe back in the ocean. And here's something I didn't know about crabs. They like to take their clothes off, like frequently. It's called molting. And the smaller ones like this will remove their outer layer every couple of weeks to get bigger. And when it first started happening, I thought the crab was just dead. But then I came back to 2 crabs in the tank. And sadly I didn't capture the process on camera, but it's like another scene from a horror movie. It literally pulls its own face off and then they crawl out of their own body, leaving behind their eyes, gills, and mouth. And it's probably one of the dumbest evolutionary things I've ever seen. Firstly, they can barely move while they are molting. And then the process kills them some of the time. And then, if it does work, they come out with soft shells, making them perfect for a Malaysian man to eat. And the crabs really didn't consider this before evolving. Also, because these crabs are under a year old and technically minors without clothes on, I'm going to refrain from looking at them while they're molting.
Stop.
And this means the fattening process is working, and they are putting on weight, which is very good. Okay, I feel like an idiot for not knowing this, but the molting process is the most important thing for weight gain. So after this guy shed his shell, he was super hungry and was eating like 2 pieces of food a day and really fattened out, which makes sense because obviously they can't gain weight if their shell is restricting them. So that's why they didn't gain that much weight before. I needed them to molt. And apparently, according to the internet, the juveniles molt 1 to 2 weeks, but mine are already pretty big, which explains why it took him so long to molt. But I'm still happy, as after molting in 10 days, he looks significantly bigger. But I'll find out his weight at the end.
The big guy.
Everything is going really well. The depressed big guy at the top finally ate some food. And another crab I got from the creek molted. And the crabs from the market are still eating, but not as much. So maybe they are getting prepared to molt or something.
Molting
I'm also
stage.
having a lot of fun looking after them, ignoring how bad my garage smells. And I've kind of become obsessed. I really just want to see how big I can make these crabs now. Alright, I'm completely obsessed. I'm the crab guy now. All I talk and think about are my crabs. If someone comes over, the first thing I ask them is, hey, you want to see my crabs?
Oh, Alexa, come look at my crabs.
Into the stinky garage. The garage that smells like fish poop.
It smells so bad, dude. It's actually the whole house smells. Like,
The whole house smells. No.
And that's the worst thing. I can't even smell them anymore. It's only the other people that notice, which means I'm walking around probably smelling like a crab.
Yeah.
And this process is still going really well. I've had all 3 of my crabs from the creek molt, but the market crabs still haven't. And that's either because the creek ones are just healthier or like taking their clothes off more. So I reckon I'm going to feed them for 1 more week to fill them up, and then I might sell them. Alright,
The
I've
final
had these
day.
crabs in my garage for 100 days now. And besides the constant piss smell, I kinda love it. They all have unique personality. For example, this one tries to bite me, and this one tries to bite me even more. And I've also learnt a lot about myself in the process. For example, that I like crabs. And I am slightly sad they have to go, but it's time to weigh them and sell them and get some money. And first up, we have the big lethargic guy whose initial weight was 1,077 grams. And after 3 months of work, I have gained a massive 76 grams.
Wow.
Not good. Next, we have the feisty guy who was 759 grams. So
He
I'm
wants
hoping
his
for a little more,
bucket.
if I can get him to let go of the bucket.
It's funny that once they grab one thing, they don't let go. It seems kind of like a design.
People arrive. Good evening,
Design
everyone, and Merry
And
Christmas,
here's now
Shy.
861
Merry
grams.
Christmas! Thank you
Gain
so
of
much.
102 grams. So far, I am not making much money. Okay, number 3 was originally 638 grams, the smallest, but he is molted and definitely looks much bigger, so I'm hopeful. And this is amazing. He has more than
Whoa.
doubled in weight and is now 717 grams heavier. Okay,
Whoa!
and then I'm skipping to the
That's
last guy.
sick.
He was 792 grams, but hasn't molted.
Oh, sorry.
Crabs. This one tried 59 grams.
One of them died. All of these crabs. One of them died.
So I'm hoping for a little more, if I can get him to let go of the bucket. So far, 130. He has more than doubled in weight and is now
He died.
717 grams heavier. Okay, and then I'm skipping to the last guy.
Look,
He was 792 grams, but hasn't molted and still looks small. And he is 907 grams.
Never
So in
mind.
total, we have gained 2,269 grams, which is not that much, but I don't know how much that is worth until we sell them. And if I take in all the other costs, $610 plus electricity for the filter and heater for 4 months, which is $150 plus my labor, I don't think I've made any money. Alright, I still haven't sold them.
Me
keep
when I
lying, as
spread
feel a bit bad, but
misinformation.
since I'm not legally allowed to release them back into the nature since I farm them now, which was a mistake I learned after my video called How Many Fish Does It Take to Pull a Boat, which I received a $3,000 fine, I've decided I'm going to keep 5 of them and sell the smallest 5, which I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do, so I'm going to find someone who doesn't care.
Gonna find someone who doesn't care and expose them right there of their business address.
And selling them was actually a very stressful experience for me. Watching my babies being weighed, not knowing if I actually made any money or not. that went so much better than I thought it would. I
Damn.
got $576 for my 5 crabs. And
What
this only
the?
happened as not only had the overall mud crab weight gone up by like 50%, but the price of
Isn't that insane? He sold the smallest ones. If he had sold them all, he would have actually made unironically profit. What the fuck?
mud crabs had more than doubled in the months I had them, going from $45 a kilo to $85 a kilo, which means the 5 mud crabs I sold were worth $300 more than the 7 I originally bought from the market.
What did you do then?
And this is something I really didn't consider in this experiment, was that mud crabs are actually a speculative asset, just like Bitcoin or gold. In fact, my mud crabs actually went up in price more than Bitcoin over the same period. So let's go over the cost. The original 7 crabs I bought, plus parts, foods, and electricity, was $960, not including my 3 months of labor. The profit on the 5 crabs I sold was $398. Even though this sounds good, if we subtract the profit from the costs, I'm still $562 in the hole. So this
Dang.
crab dinner was very expensive. But technically, my crabs did go up in value. So, should you make a mud crab farm in your garage? Probably not. For 3 months of work, you were definitely better off growing drugs. And I think the only reason those
Just
Indonesian
grow
men
drugs.
online can make it profitable is firstly because their labor costs are low. They also use cheap scrap fish. And most importantly, they know what they're doing. Thank you so much for watching. If you like that, please subscribe and check out some
Crypto
of that.
crap. Don't mind me, just like casually, having some crypto crap, no big deal.